Happy Tuesday, guys. Welcome to the morning after. I will be discussing episode 8. We're already at episode 8 of Nick's season of The Bachelor. So it's hometown week, and if you've been reading my stuff for a while, you know that I always love hometown week. I really love how you get to know the people and then you really see them in their element, and there's a side of them that always comes out, and so it's just really nice to watch, especially from the contestants that you really warm to and like. So I'm going to go through quickly in order here and start with Raven, who really caught me by surprise here. All season long, I've been liking Raven. I think that she's really kind of witty and dry and just sort of gets it, and she's kind of an observer. She isn't really necessarily in the drama, but she sort of comments on it. She's got great commentary. Holy crap, their chemistry this week. If you've been reading my Flair recaps, you know that I've been kind of TBD on the chemistry front, and I really felt like, wow, there was something really weirdly hot about their pond. Was it mud? Pond? I don't know what it was, but their makeout was it reminded me a bit of that scene in Match Point. I don't know if anyone knows what I'm talking about, but it was hot, really hot. And I also found this date to have just a lot of heart, her finding out her father's cancer-free and knowing that was just an authentic reaction. You can't really stage stuff like that, and it was just really moving to watch her with her family. So it didn't really seem, her time with her family didn't seem to have that much to do with Nick, and I was totally, for one, fine with that. Let's see, Rachel. This date kind of was a bit of a letdown for me. Not in that I didn't think it was a good date. It's more that I felt the spark wasn't really highlighted between her and Nick, and I feel like we know that that they are capable of that, and so it just sort of felt like it was all about the race thing. And believe me, I for one love that the race thing is being discussed. I think it should be discussed. I just don't think it should be the only thing discussed. And for me, I felt this hometown date was just, it's like it took up 85 to 90% of the hometown date, both daytime and nighttime. So it was a little okay, but what about them, as, people long term? And I gotta say, the fact that we know that Rachel's Bachelorette, once again, the magic is a little gone there. And so I'm the first person to admit that maybe I'm watching it through a different lens, knowing that, she's Bachelorette. I don't know, I can't really, have hope for them as a couple. And nor do I want to. I think she'll be a great Bachelorette. It's just sort of it's a little want. Anyway, Corinne. Okay, first of all, I have a hard time believing that Corinne paid for Nick's outfit, whether it was $30, $300, or $3,000. The fact that the store's name was always shown. Oh, Yanine, hi, hello, nice to meet you. Oh, thank you. The fact that the store's name was always shown when they're walking in, when they're walking out, or shown on the shopping bags. It's think about the amount of free advertising there, how many millions of people are seeing that store's name. Something tells me that those $3,000 whatever dollars were not put on Corinne's credit card, personally. But I think, okay, obviously that was her storyline. She has the money to spend. She likes the finer things in life. Okay, it was entertaining. I personally still can't get past the fact that Corinne hasn't had a one-on-one date, which, considering, we're already in episode 8, this was her first real date, and even then it wasn't real because it was him meeting her family. So essentially he met her family, never having had one real date. It's they're supposed to end up engaged by episode 11. I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying it, you guys. I think Corinne is there for entertainment value, and this date was a continuation of that. It was for show, just like the shopping was, just like this hometown date is. There's just nothing to be bought here, in my opinion. As much as it was nice to meet Raquel, who seems unbelievably lovely. Okay, lastly, Vanessa. Okay, I don't know about you, but I completely teared up watching Vanessa with her students. I just think that what she does is incredible, and she there's just so much heart there, but like I think that would require a lot of strength to do that, especially every day. And I just, you can hear about it objectively, but then to see her with her students is really, very moving. I was moved. So it was really cool. I did feel like this date moved really like fast. Obviously there was a lot of like ground, and by ground I mean a lot of family members to cover. I just would have personally preferred maybe a fewer conversations shown, but then have them gone into a little more detail. Like Nick's conversation with the mom was like nothing. It was just so quick, and it didn't really feel like a conversation. And of course we know that those conversations happen, so it's like I would rather be, if I'm going to be shown a conversation, have it be one that's shown in, in depth, I definitely felt that a few questions were raised here, just because I have been rooting for Vanessa and Nick together. I felt like, oh man, like who's moving where? That's kind of a concern, because I think you'd have to be crazy to expect Vanessa to uproot her life. Unless, of course, she wanted to uproot her life, but I'm not really getting that feeling from her that, she has any interest in leaving her unbelievable job and her massive family with whom she's obviously extremely close. So that was a bit of a concern for me, just watching them, because I am rooting for them. And lastly, of course, Nick's chat with the dad. I kind of enjoyed this. I know that's a little nasty because Nick was obviously squirming, but it was just entertaining to watch someone who obviously doesn't give a shit about this show, Vanessa's dad, like just tearing into Nick like that. It was really, it was just like he was like a realist, and it was entertaining. It was entertaining. I'm sorry. I found it really entertaining. It ended well, so yeah. So yeah, all in all, I thought that this was a very satisfying hometown week. It sort of covered all grounds. And yeah, it kind of shifted things for me, for sure. Like, Raven's really coming up from behind now, especially in terms of chemistry. Vanessa's still on top, but now there's all these questions raised. So yeah, it's in some ways par for the course, but in other ways, it was very satisfying. So yes, thank you for tuning in for the morning after. Stay tuned for my Flare recap, which is coming soon, and my Pretty Pandas recap, which will come probably Thursday or Friday this week. So yes, thank you for tuning in.